After 60, weak legs aren't from aging, they're from missing one vitamin that powers your muscles like sunlight powers life. The single nutrient most responsible for leg strength in adults over 60 is vitamin D3. It's not just another supplement, it's a hormone your body depends on to command muscle fibers, balance calcium, and keep every step steady. The most remarkable finding from clinical studies is this. When seniors restore their vitamin D3 levels from deficient to optimal, leg strength increases by over 50% and fall risk drops by nearly 80% within 6 months. Vitamin D3 doesn't work by feeding your muscles protein. It works by activating your muscles, turning on the genetic instructions that tell your body to rebuild strength, coordination, and balance. Each muscle cell, especially in your thighs and calves, contains D3 receptors. When this vitamin binds to those receptors, it triggers a process called muscle protein synthesis, the biological signal that builds new muscle fibers. Without enough D3, this system slows to a crawl. Your muscles begin losing power not because they're old, but because they're disconnected from their hormonal switch. Here's what most adults over 60 never hear. Vitamin D3 is a neuromuscular hormone, not just a nutrient. It strengthens both muscle tissue and the nerve signals that control it. When levels fall too low, the communication between your nerves and your legs becomes sluggish. That's why a deficiency often shows up as slower reflexes, balance loss, or difficulty standing up from a chair. The problem is widespread. Over 80% of seniors are now deficient in vitamin D. As the skin ages, it produces far less D3 from sunlight. Even daily walks outdoors don't create enough. And when sunscreen or clothing blocks ultraviolet rays, the body's natural conversion nearly stops. That's why even active, health-conscious seniors can unknowingly slip into weakness despite exercise. In the leg muscles, the first fibers to weaken are the fast-twitch fibers, the ones that catch you when you stumble. A 2019 study confirmed that these protective fibers begin to atrophy specifically when vitamin D drops below optimal range. Supplementing restores their density and reaction speed, which is why seniors with healthy D3 levels are far less likely to fall or fracture a hip. Taking D3 at the right time and in the right way makes the difference between mild improvement and real results. It's a fat-soluble hormone, so it must be taken with food that contains healthy fats, such as eggs, avocado, or olive oil. The best time is before 9 a.m., ideally with breakfast, when your circadian rhythm is aligned with sunlight. That timing helps the body absorb and utilize the vitamin more effectively. The clinically supported dosage range for adults over 60 is between 2,000 and 5,000 IU daily, the lower end for maintenance, the higher end for rebuilding deficiency. But there's one more rule that protects you: vitamin K2. Always take D3 with K2 around 100 to 200 micrograms. K2 ensures that the calcium unlocked by vitamin D goes into your bones and muscles, not your arteries. The two act as partners. D3 opens the door, K2 directs the traffic. Within a few weeks, most seniors notice the early signs of renewal: steadier steps, fewer muscle cramps, and faster recovery after walks or stairs. These are direct results of D3 activating muscle protein synthesis, calcium absorption, and electrolyte balance all at once. But this hormone does something else even more important. It restores confidence. When leg strength returns, everyday movements stop feeling uncertain. You rise from a chair without thinking. You walk across a room without the quiet fear of losing balance. What feels like aging is often just hormonal depletion that can be reversed. And while vitamin D3 is the master key, it doesn't work alone. To build truly strong legs, the body also needs minerals that carry nerve impulses, antioxidants that protect muscle cells, and natural compounds that keep inflammation low. These work together to turn short-term strength into lasting mobility. The next step is understanding how to combine D3 with the nutrients that amplify its power, starting with the simplest and most immediate, electrolytes. Vitamin D3 does far more than most people realize. It doesn't simply support muscle health, it regulates it, right down to the cellular level. Inside each muscle fiber, D3 acts like a messenger, activating genes that control calcium flow and protein construction. Those two actions together determine whether your legs feel stable or unsteady, strong or weak. The way it works is elegant but unforgiving. When D3 binds to receptors inside a muscle cell, it signals calcium to move into the fiber at exactly the right moment. Calcium is what allows your muscles to contract. It's the spark that lets you lift your body from a chair or climb stairs. Without enough D3, that calcium signal weakens and the contraction becomes incomplete. Your legs feel heavy, your balance uncertain, and your endurance fades halfway through the day. This is why so many older adults describe their legs as tired, even when they've done little physical activity. D3 also governs how effectively your body turns food into usable muscle tissue. It interacts with the thyroid, the parathyroid, and the pancreas, the three organs that manage metabolism, calcium, and insulin. When those systems are properly activated, your body doesn't just absorb nutrients better, it builds with them more efficiently. That's why D3 deficiency often leads to muscle loss, even in people who eat balanced diets. The nutrients are there, but the signal to use them is missing. As the skin ages, natural D3 production plummets. At 65, your skin makes about 1/4 of what it did in your 30s, even under full sunlight. Combine that with less time outdoors, long sleeves and sunscreen, and the body's reserves gradually run dry. The result is a slow but measurable decline in muscle performance that feels identical to aging, yet it's entirely reversible once D3 levels return to normal. That's where diet synergy becomes powerful. When vitamin D3 is taken alongside calcium-rich foods such as Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, absorption improves dramatically. These foods contain not only calcium, but casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds muscles for hours, especially overnight. Studies show that seniors who consume casein before bed maintain more lean muscle and recover faster, because it keeps amino acids flowing while the body sleeps. Paired with morning D3, it creates a continuous cycle of muscle repair, hormonal activation by day, protein rebuilding by night. Sardines and other oily fish extend this effect further. They supply omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D3 in natural form, plus protein and calcium in one package. Omega-3s reduce inflammation around muscle tissue, while D3 drives growth. In clinical trials, seniors who ate omega-3 rich fish gained significantly more muscle than those who didn't, confirming that these nutrients work best as partners, not isolates. But not every source of protein is ideal after 60. The absorption of egg protein, for example, declines with age, while cholesterol tends to rise. That's why softer proteins, Greek yogurt, tofu, and chickpeas are more effective for seniors. They digest easily, provide complete amino acids, and supply minerals that support D3's work inside the cell. Tofu, in particular, contains both calcium and magnesium, which help maintain muscle contraction and nerve stability. This interplay between hormones, minerals, and food timing is what determines functional strength. Exercise still matters, but without the biochemical foundation, activity alone can't rebuild lost muscle. Think of D3 as the switch that turns exercise into progress. Without it, even regular yoga or walking produces smaller gains because the muscle fibers don't receive the signal to regenerate. That's why medical researchers now describe vitamin D deficiency as a neuromuscular disorder rather than just a nutritional gap. It alters how your nerves talk to your muscles. Replenishing it restores not only strength but coordination, the ability to react quickly when balance shifts or when a step is missed. Taken consistently, vitamin D3 gives your legs a second youth. It doesn't bulk muscles, it reawakens them. But for this hormone to deliver full power, it needs an electrical partner, the minerals that let muscles fire on command. Those minerals are known collectively as electrolytes, and they are the second critical key to strong, stable legs. Muscles don't move by strength alone, they move by electricity. Every contraction in your legs begins with an electrical signal from your nerves, and that signal depends on electrolytes: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These minerals carry the charge that tells your muscles when to tighten and when to relax. Without them, your legs may feel heavy, unresponsive, or even shaky, especially in the morning or after walking a short distance. Electrolytes are the body's quiet power grid. When balanced, they allow your muscles to contract efficiently and your heart to maintain rhythm. When depleted, they cause fatigue, cramping, and dizziness, sensations many seniors misinterpret as weakness or aging. In truth, mild dehydration and low mineral intake can mimic serious muscle loss. That's why one of the simplest, most immediate steps to rebuild leg power is restoring electrolyte balance. Clinical data support this directly. In a 2019 study, seniors with optimal electrolyte levels had 40% better muscle function and a significantly lower risk of falls compared to those who were mildly deficient. Researchers observed that even a small shortage of sodium or magnesium reduced the muscle's ability to contract fully. The result: weaker steps, slower reflexes, and a feeling of instability when standing up or turning quickly. Restoring electrolytes isn't complicated. A quarter teaspoon of sea salt, Himalayan, Celtic, or Mediterranean, dissolved in 32 ounces of filtered water creates an effective homemade electrolyte solution. Adding a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of cream of tartar provides potassium and citrate, improving absorption. Drinking half of this mixture first thing in the morning and the rest early in the afternoon keeps your muscles charged through the day's most active hours. When paired with vitamin D3, electrolytes complete the loop between hormonal activation and electrical response. D3 builds the hardware, stronger muscle fibers and nerves. Electrolytes supply the current that makes them work. Seniors who combine both often notice dramatic improvements in balance, alertness, and overall energy within a week. Yet strength isn't just about contraction. It's also about cellular endurance, how well your muscle cells resist fatigue. That's where liposomal glutathione enters the picture. Glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. It protects every cell from oxidative stress, the microscopic damage caused by aging and inflammation. Normally, the body makes its own glutathione, but production drops sharply after 60, leaving muscles vulnerable to energy loss. The liposomal form is unique because it's wrapped in a fatty layer that protects it from stomach acid, allowing direct absorption into the bloodstream and cells. Inside the leg muscles, glutathione repairs the mitochondria, the tiny engines that produce energy. Over time, those mitochondria become damaged and muscles begin to feel weak even when well nourished. By restoring glutathione, seniors can literally recharge their muscles. A 2020 study in clinical interventions in aging found that older adults who supplemented with glutathione for 12 weeks gained 35% more strength and walked 28% faster. The researchers concluded that glutathione not only protects muscles but reverses age-related mitochondrial decline, allowing cells to produce energy more efficiently again. The usual dose ranges between 500 and 1,000 milligrams daily, taken on an empty stomach for best absorption. Some prefer taking it in the morning, others at night. The key is consistency. Within a few weeks, most people notice lighter, more responsive legs, clearer thinking, and faster recovery from everyday activity. Still, even with energy restored, one invisible factor can silently erode strength: inflammation. Low-grade inflammation often originates in the gut or from mild infections that go unnoticed. Over time, it breaks down muscle proteins faster than the body can rebuild them. That's where the next vitamin plays its role: oil of oregano. This potent extract contains compounds like carvacrol and thymol, which act as natural antibacterial and antiviral agents. They eliminate hidden infections and reduce inflammatory stress on muscle tissue. Research shows that clearing these low-level infections can restore nutrient absorption and muscle protein synthesis within weeks. In short, oil of oregano protects the muscles you've rebuilt. Together, these three, electrolytes, glutathione, and oil of oregano, form the support network for vitamin D3. It tells your muscles to grow, electrolytes let them move, glutathione keeps them energized, and oregano oil guards them from breakdown. When combined, they rebuild not just leg strength but stability, stamina, and confidence in movement. For seniors seeking independence, these aren't supplements. They're the biochemical foundation for mobility itself. When leg strength begins to return, the next goal is to make it last, not for weeks, but for years. Longevity of strength depends on one principle: consistency in restoring and maintaining cellular balance. That balance is built from vitamin D3, electrolytes, and glutathione, but it's sustained by what you feed your body every single day. After 60, the body doesn't lose its ability to build muscle, it loses its efficiency. The digestive system absorbs nutrients more slowly, and the signals that trigger muscle repair take longer to activate. That means the same effort requires more patience and smarter nutrition. The good news is that every system involved in muscle strength, from the gut to the mitochondria, can still improve when properly nourished. This is where food becomes medicine. In the Inspiration Health Tone research, foods like Greek yogurt, millet, chickpeas, and sardines stand out not for their protein quantity, but for how efficiently the body can use them. Each one supports a specific aspect of muscular longevity. Greek yogurt contains both whey and casein, which deliver fast and slow-digesting protein together. Whey supplies amino acids immediately, while casein provides a steady flow for hours. This helps maintain the protein balance that muscles need for constant renewal. Its calcium content reinforces the same structural framework that vitamin D3 activates. Millet, an ancient grain, provides slow-burning carbohydrates and minerals that feed muscle energy throughout the day. Its magnesium relaxes tight muscles. Its iron improves oxygen delivery, and its steady glucose release prevents the fatigue that often leads to unsteady walking or trembling legs. Swapping refined carbohydrates for millet a few times a week gives the muscles endurance instead of spikes of energy followed by crashes. Chickpeas supply the combination of protein and complex carbohydrates that aging muscles crave, the rebuilding material and the fuel to use it. Their magnesium and zinc content also aid in muscle recovery and nerve coordination. They prevent the electrical instability that often causes cramps, especially in the evening. And sardines remain one of the most powerful longevity foods in the world of muscle health. They combine omega-3 fatty acids, calcium and vitamin D, exactly the nutrients that stabilize muscle and bone together. In one serving, they offer protein for muscle fiber, calcium for bone anchoring, omega-3s for inflammation control, and vitamin D for hormonal activation. No supplement can match that natural combination. Together, these foods reinforce what the vitamin strategy builds. They extend the effects. D3 and K2 restore hormonal signaling, electrolytes regulate electrical flow, and glutathione renews energy production. Food choices keep the system fed and stable so that strength doesn't fade again when supplements pause. The long-term strategy is simple. Take vitamin D3 with K2 every morning, paired with a fat-containing meal. Drink electrolyte water before or between meals for hydration and nerve function. Eat a protein-rich, mineral-dense meal pattern built around Greek yogurt, tofu, millet, and legumes. Use liposomal glutathione daily to protect and power muscle cells. Cycle oil of oregano for 2 to 3 weeks at a time to maintain immune and gut balance. These habits gradually rewire how your body feels and functions. The improvement may start in the legs, but it extends everywhere: posture, mood, sleep, and metabolism. Vitamin D3, for example, influences serotonin production, which stabilizes mood and improves motivation. Magnesium from electrolytes supports heart rhythm and sleep quality. Glutathione lowers systemic inflammation, protecting not only muscles but also the brain and arteries. Within 2 to 3 months, many older adults notice that walking no longer feels cautious, it feels natural. They move with the steadiness they had decades earlier, not because of new muscle mass, but because every part of the system, nerve, muscle, bone, and energy, is synchronized again. True longevity of strength doesn't come from intensity, it comes from continuity. The muscles that carry you through daily life depend on the nutrients that carry them through each day. As long as that supply remains steady, your legs stay capable of doing what they were designed to do: support, move, and sustain independence. And that independence, the ability to stand tall, to walk confidently, to climb stairs without hesitation, is one of the most powerful predictors of long life. Maintaining it is not a matter of luck, it's a matter of chemistry, care, and consistency. If you believe knowledge can save lives, share this video with someone you care for and subscribe to stay informed with the latest medical insights.